morning, everyone. Welcome to the Family Care Center. I'm Joanna Rhodes. I'm the Director of Family Services for Lexington-Fayette Urban County Government. We are so excited and so honored today to host Governor Beshear and key leaders for the signing of House Bill 234. As a division of Lexington City Government whose programs focus specifically on families with young children, we are reminded daily that quality child care is a very important ingredient of family self-sufficiency. That is the reason we fully support this legislation and what it will bring to Kentucky's children and families. On behalf of the staff at Family Care Center and our city's Department of Social Services, I wish to thank our governor and other leaders for placing a high priority on early childhood issues. I also wish to thank our Lexington Mayor, Jim Gray, our Social Services Commissioner, Chris Ford, and our City Council, whose ongoing support of our center helps us grow and maintain a quality child care program. And I especially want to thank all of our child care staff and their leader, Karen Underwood, for doing what is needed every day here in this building to help children thrive. We know that quality care is good for our little ones, their parents, and our communities. Thanks to all of you for today's visit to Family Care Center. I'm now pleased to welcome Governor Beshear.
Thank you. Thank you all very much. Thanks for coming out and helping us celebrate today. And we're here to celebrate, I think, a very important event that has occurred in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and that is the passage and the implementation of House Bill 234. And I want to especially thank our little friends down here who are sitting so patiently. We'll see how long. You know, centers like this and the work that you do and the families that you serve are why we're here today. But also we're here today because of these folks right here in front of us and many thousands of folks like these young kids all over the Commonwealth of Kentucky. As we recognize the importance of the All-Stars bill to the future success of our children, we must also correlate that to the future success of our Commonwealth. You know, in Kentucky, we've come to understand that early learning is the cornerstone of state education policy. We've been carrying out a comprehensive strategy to keep and make Kentucky a competitive force in the global marketplace and to improve the lives of our people, both now and for generations to come. And step one in that process is building a stronger workforce by focusing on our youngest children. We dramatically improved access to health care for children in low-income families. We've targeted dental problems. We've expanded access to preschool for almost 5,000 more 4-year-olds beginning in 2016. We've worked to have all of our parties that are involved in this and all of our stakeholders, our educators, our school community providers, our community leaders, coalesce around a shared definition of kindergarten readiness. And we've developed a screener to gauge whether children were arriving at school ready to succeed. But there is so much more to do. Last year, only about half of our children arrived at kindergarten ready to succeed. That means that almost 24,500 students entered school less than fully prepared to do the work. House Bill 234 allows us to continue our momentum by adding accountability and transparency to all of our early child care facilities. This bill will build upon our successful quality rating system for child care all across the state and transform it into the Kentucky All-Stars plan. In Kentucky All-Stars, all early childhood programs that receive public funding will be required to participate. Public preschool, Head Start, and private child care. Private programs with no public funding that aspire to higher quality can choose to participate as well. This was funded by the Race to the Top Early Learning Challenge Grant. This new rating system was created in partnership with the Governor's Office of Early Childhood, the Cabinet for Health and Family Services Division of Child Care, and the Kentucky Department of Education. I want to congratulate a number of folks: our Executive Director, Terry Tolan, Secretary Audrey Haynes, Commissioner Terry Holliday, all of their agencies. Let's give them a round of applause. We're very proud that Kentucky was one of only 6 states in the country chosen in 2013 to receive the Race to the Top grant. We believe we earned that privilege in recognition of the great progress that we have made in this area in recent years. I know and you know that all families want what's best for their children. Working parents need and deserve to know if their children are in high-quality care and education. Thanks to the tireless work of Representative Derek Graham, along with Senators Mike Wilson and David Givens, and with the rest of our legislative delegation, Senator Reggie Thomas, who is here, Representative George Brown. Let's give all of our legislative delegation a big round of applause. But with the passage of House Bill 234, every parent in Kentucky can now be confident in the early learning and child care choices that they make. And we can all be assured that the future of the Commonwealth will be in good hands. So thank you very much for being here to help us celebrate. We're going to hear from some other folks that have been vital to the passage of this bill, and then we're going to have a ceremonial signing and celebrate a little more, because I saw that there's food back there. Thank you very much. Let's hear from the primary sponsor, and I'm going to tell you something. This guy went to war to get this bill passed, and without him, we wouldn't be standing here today. Representative Derek Graham.
Thank you all. Thank you, Governor. Thank you, Cabinet Secretaries. Thank you, my colleagues who are here today. Governor, I do thank you for your support, but I must also thank the First Lady. From the time that you all entered office in December of '07, early childhood education and early childhood development has been at the forefront of the First Lady's agenda. The contributions and guidance that you and your administration have provided over the last 7+ years will benefit all of us well into the future. This law represents the latest step in that progress, Governor. As the Governor signs this legislation into law, I am reminded by the quote from Benjamin Franklin that I think aptly applies today. An investment in knowledge always pays the best interest. At its core, that's what this law does. It provides what our parents need to know about their young children's care and instructions. At the same time, it also furnishes the information needed for making improvements in our early childhood programs for our state and our local leaders. I am grateful that we have the Race to the Top grant. My hope is that when it is learned how these early childhood programs compare with their counterparts, steps will be taken to improve others. The research shows what common sense has long told us, Governor. Early childhood programs work, and they work well. They provide the foundation our children need as they prepare for kindergarten and elementary school. Half of Kentucky's kindergarten students are not fully prepared when they start school. This clearly indicates that more needs to be done, and this law will help to lead the way forward. As chairman of the House Education Committee, as a retired teacher, and as a parent, I am proud I could play a role in making this possible. Now I am looking forward to seeing what more we can do to make sure all of our young students are truly ready for the challenges ahead. Their success is our success. Again, thank you, Governor, and the First Lady, and everyone else who was involved in making this day possible. I look forward to continuing to work towards the goal of making early childhood development and education a top priority in Kentucky's future educational policies. Thank you and God bless.
Well, good morning. I'm Audrey Haynes, the Secretary of the Cabinet for Health and Family Services, and thank you so much, Representative Graham. It's really exciting to be here, and look how great our little boys and girls here are being. They're so patient with all of us. As the governor indicated earlier, I love their stars. That says it all, doesn't it? Thank you. You know, Representative Graham, you're right, Governor. He really carried this, and he was kind of a take no prisoners about this piece of legislation. The really great thing about this is that it really does show that in government we can finally begin to swim upstream, and that's what this is all about. This is not waiting until our young people either graduate or don't graduate, go to college or don't go to college, go to vocational school or don't. This is about the early investment that without question, there is absolutely no question that all research and outcomes shows this is one of the finer investments that any government can make in our people. At my Cabinet for Health and Family Services, under the governor's leadership, we have made, as he said earlier, some pretty significant investments in the last few years in health care and also in early childhood education. And I think this continues that. You know, it is the Cabinet for Health and Family Services. We implement the CCAP program that allows for so many young people whose parents and caregivers are hardworking family members, and they need to know that their kids are not only in a safe environment, in a healthy environment, but their kids are in a high-quality environment so they may learn and be ready to compete with their peers at the very start. So I really want to just say that we welcome the All-Stars program. We look forward to implementation. And I especially want to thank Secretary Zawacki. Thank you so much. I know Commissioner Holliday has been also pointed out in his support. This is one of those multi-cabinet interagency efforts, and it really does take all of us, along with the families, the teachers, that will continue to make this successful. And now I'm going to turn it over to my other partner in cohort, Terry Tolan, the Executive Director of the Governor's Office of Early Childhood. And she is our fearless leader on this project. So, Terry.
Thank you, Secretary. And that's the first hush I've seen out of this group. That's amazing. And many thanks, Joanna, for inviting us into your house, and that this is really what it's all about, and hoping that all programs aspire to be as high quality as this beautiful program is. And many thanks to Governor Beshear and Representative Graham. Your passionate leadership is really what got this done, and your ongoing support of our strategies to increase kindergarten readiness have been so important to this work. Passage of House Bill 234 was really the critical next step in making sure that every child gets to kindergarten ready, and especially those children who have the greatest need. So we are trying to assure that all children have access to beautiful, high-quality care and education like this one. And we know that high-quality programs can change outcomes for kids that last for a lifetime. I especially also want to thank our state partners, the Cabinet for Health and Family Services, the Kentucky Department of Education. We have the luxury of promoting the dream of Kentucky All-Stars. Fearless leader sounds a little too strong, Secretary Haynes, but we have the luxury of dreaming, but those partners in the Department of Ed and the Division of Child Care and the Cabinet for Health and Family Services really now get to do the heavy lifting to figure out how we implement these programs in a way that encourages every early learning program to aspire to be the highest possible quality. So thank you, Secretary Haynes, and please convey our thanks, Dr. Floyd, to Dr. Holliday for making kindergarten readiness a priority in their work. Through Kentucky All-Stars and our ongoing efforts to strengthen families and young children, we're paving the way for a brighter future for all of them, and it takes the commitment of all of us in order to make sure that children have the best possible opportunity for success. So thank you, Governor and Representative Graham, for making sure that we're able to move this work forward. And with that, I'll turn the program over to the Mayor.
Thanks so much, Terry. Well, Governor, I think that praise that you were offering about patience is running kind of on thin air. It looks like it. Okay, guys, I promise you all will be real quick here. First, it's always great to be here when the governor's in town. Usually it's about jobs, and today it's about an equally or even more important dimension of his work, and thank you for bringing your team along. It's also great to be with our legislative delegation, Senator Reggie Thomas, Representative George Brown, Commissioner of Social Services, Chris Ford, Tom Zawacki. Always great to see you. We've known each other a long time. Well, this is a great day in Kentucky, as the governor and all those who have spoken already have said, because we are talking about higher standards for early child care. And we all know that without good, affordable child care, it is so hard for most families to succeed. I want to take 1 minute in my remarks, and that's all I'm going to have is 1 minute, to talk about the facility that you're visiting today, because when it comes to child care, the Family Care Center gets it right. So Joanna and her whole team, will you all, let's give them a big hand. Well, we have had the highest possible state ranking here. Governor, you mentioned it earlier. 4 stars under the STARS program, helping over 1,000 parents. These are teen parents and working adults. Family Care Center is a model program, something that you really just don't find in a lot of cities. It encourages our city to set the highest standards in early child care. So thanks to all of you for being here today, and Governor and your team, thanks for all you have done for our state, working with our legislatures. Representative Graham, thank you for that leadership that you provided and for listening to local folks. Thank you all.